Welcome back to Express. Well, the world's attention is on the London 2012 Olympic Games right now, but there's another set of athletes gearing up for their own international competition. The next Special Olympics World Games will be held in February in South Korea.
Motionball works year-round to raise awareness and funds for the Special Olympics Canada Foundation. Paul Etherington is the co-founder, and he's here in the studio now to tell us more about this. So, Paul, first off, what is Motionball and what's the mission here?
Motionball's mission is to introduce the next generation of donors and volunteers and sponsors to the Special Olympics movement through integrated social and sporting events. So right now we're running 14 annual events in 7 cities across Canada. We're a purely volunteer-driven organization, and the main focus is bringing fun back into giving and giving this audience, that being the Special Olympics community, a voice. So many people are unaware of this movement, and it's massive in Canada.
How did this organization get started and the connection to these Special Olympics?
It started with my brothers and I at the beer market in Toronto, wanting to give back. Our parents had been involved for 20 plus years, and we wanted to make a difference to this community, and we wanted to get our friends engaged in the movement. There's over 35,000 Special Olympic athletes engaged in Canada, but that is only 5% of the Canadian population who could gain from this movement. So we got a long way to go.
You talked about the fundraisers, and you guys have got a whole bunch of them. And the money that you raise, where does it go?
It goes, it's split. It goes directly to the Special Olympics Canada Foundation, but then it's split depending on where we run that particular event. 50% goes to that local chapter. The other 50% eventually gets to Special Olympics Canada. It's all about ensuring the long-term financial stability of the movement, growing the athlete count, and growing the volunteer count.
So I have to ask you, how much have you reached so far, and what's your goal?
We've donated $3 million plus so far, and our objective is to be donating a minimum of $1 million annually by next year.
What do the special athletes, and you would know this I think very well, what do they mean for people who want to compete, and what do they take away from actually competing?
You know, besides just the beauty of sport, we all have had the pleasure of playing sport growing up here in Canada, and it means so much to us. But it's also a social movement. It provides not only this physical activity and this physical fitness component, but the ability to interact with others, building of teamwork, sportsmanship, self-confidence, and just general respect, which is so important to this community.
Tell us about the Winter Games and the Canadians that are partaking in it.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, the next biggest national or international event will be in Pyeongchang in South Korea in 2013. Canada will be hopefully sending over 100 plus athletes, which will be the largest count ever. We just came out in 2011 with the World Games in Athens, where Canada had 106 athletes represented, had their biggest medal count. It was the largest summer games in the entire world in 2011. Again, something many people wouldn't be aware of.
How do you go about training for something like that? I mean, is it the same kind of rigorous type of training that we see in some of these other international games?
It really is. It's 24/7. They are competing on a daily basis. Training is so important. There's over 17,000 certified coaches in Canada who are helping these athletes get to that next level. There's local games, provincial games, national games, and those who are chosen get the opportunity to travel worldwide.
Okay, if somebody's watching this and they want to get involved, how can they do that?
Depending on where they live in Canada, they got to look to their local chapter. So if you're here in Toronto, there's a Special Olympics Toronto chapter, or go to Special Olympics Ontario.
Okay.
Paul Etherington, thank you very much for coming on the show today and explaining a little bit more about this, and best of luck with this venture.
Thanks very much.
Well, it's time for a short break here on Express. Stay with us. More of the day's top stories when we come back.